The publishers of Now magazine left a meeting with the Metropolitan Toronto Police Commission this afternoon more angry than ever. Now's owners wanted to know why 14 prostitution charges were laid against the magazine earlier this summer and then mysteriously dropped. Simon Dingley reports.
This is what the controversy's all about. Racy sex ads in the back of Now magazine. Now wants answers over the prostitution charges, so it went to the police commission.
We were charged with prostitution. A publication was charged with prostitution.
Now's publisher didn't pull any punches.
This is a society that values both freedom of the press and individual rights. And it's because your police force has offended these values that we are here today.
Without making apology at all, and I certainly do not do so, I think that we did what we had to do to satisfy not only public complaint, but that which is our responsibility.
According to the Crown Attorney's statement, in our case there was, quote, no legal basis, end quote, on which to sustain this prosecution against the newspaper.
The chief says there was no grand conspiracy. He says an individual officer laid the charges.
Police, I mean, not order an individual not to lay a charge if he or she has the evidence.
McCormick claims there were several complaints about Now's advertisements.
We don't dispute that individual police officers may lay charges, but we do dispute this use of public money to carry on an investigation.
Klein feels the charges were laid in retaliation for articles critical of the police. Now won't take legal action, but has a suggestion for the police chief to improve relations.
Well, an apology would always be appreciated, certainly.
Meanwhile, at Now headquarters, they're hard at work on the next issue, and they feel they've not only won this case, but also a basic democratic principle, freedom of the press. Simon Dingley, Global News, Toronto.
Coming up.
Is probably one of the most important areas of Ontario for the purposes of tourism, commerce, all of those things. And again, the safety of the streets is paramount to that.
Tonks also wants Ray to remove the commercial concentration tax that only Metro pays.
Editors at Now magazine were demanding answers today from the Metro Police Commission. They wanted to know why police laid charges against them. Charges that were later dropped after the Crown said that there was no basis in law for the case. Regina Hikasabo has the story.
Enclosed with it is an appendix specifying the individual counts and the date of the offenses.
The charges against Now magazine may have been a first in Canada. A magazine and its senior staff gets slapped with 14 counts of communicating for the purpose of soliciting. These ads were the problem. People placing the ads are looking for business as prostitutes, and that's illegal. But in a matter of weeks, Now magazine staff and their lawyer were summoned to court and informed the charges had been dropped. They had no basis in law. Today, Now had its chance to face the police chief and the body that oversees the police.
The charges were so wrong-headed that they could not be the result of a simple mistake. What was the motivation of the officers who charged us? Can the chief of police make public the private explanation he has apparently already given this commission?
But the chief said his officers were just doing their jobs.
Without making apology at all, and I certainly do not do so, I think that we did what we had to do to satisfy not only public complaint, but that which is our responsibility.
But Now was miffed by the chief's answers.
I got no feeling from the chief at all that was of any serious interest. I felt that the police's chief's response was a self-serving one. He didn't want to look bad, and that was it.
For the time being, it seems the Board of Police Commissioners will let the matter be. Now says they don't want to proceed and sue the police. They say it's cost the magazine $20,000 already just to clear its name. Regina Hikasabo, CBC News, Toronto.